This is the Gym Nog Pod, and I'm your host, Jim Noguera. On this episode, the return of Seiko 1844 and Czar of the Moon. Let's start the pod.
This is the Gym Nog Pod with Jim Noguera. It is the Gym Nog Pod with Jim Noguera.
Most interested man
It is the
in the world.
Gym Nog Pod with Jim Noguera.
The most interested man
Jim
in the
Noguera.
world. Interested,
It is the Gym
interested
in the world.
Welcome to the pod. Seiko 1844 and Czar of the Moon were on the show approximately a year ago. Seiko is a graphic artist and, in fact, is responsible for creating my podcast logo, which I think turned out pretty cool. And Czar of the Moon is, well, different. He wears a mask and, as far as I can tell, is a fictional, interdimensional being. He's kind of like Lord of the Rings Gollum meets Latino strongman meets Dapper Professor meets Owl. I highly recommend you watch this one, if you can, on YouTube. On that note, a word of caution. Czar is a performer, and his appearance on the pod should be viewed as a performance. All that said, there were some imperfections in the audio. I'll take this time to remind the audience that I do the pod because I love it. I love talking to people and seeing how they think. And of course, to learn from them. It actually costs me money to produce each episode, and I'm okay with that. I'm just pointing out that I edit the audio, the video, book guests, pack up, and so on. It's time consuming, so please bear with me as I slowly improve the pod in as many ways as I can going forward. Finally, I'm recovering from a cold, so that affects my voice. I don't know if you can tell right now or not. During the recording, I felt worse, but wanted to keep my commitments and do the pod. I felt okay, but had a runny nose and a cough. I tried not to sniff too much or cough into the mic. Once again, bear with me. And now, Seiko 1844 and Czar of the Moon. All right, here we are again. This is take 2 because I fucked up the first time. This is Jim Nog, and I'm joined by
Seiko 1844
and his guest,
is
his
Czar
friend.
of the Moon.
That's that guy.
Right
if you're
there.
watching it, I definitely recommend that you watch this one if you have the chance. Yeah. For obvious reasons, if you do watch. Okay. So, we wanted to get together to talk about mixed martial arts because I'm a huge fan. I originally didn't like it. I think I had a similar reaction to you, Seiko, because I had a friend who was like super into it, and he would show me like these Pride FC, Pride Fighting Championship videos, these old videos like taken in the 90s, early
You
2000s.
look well.
Thank you, man. You
Did
look good too.
Did you get married?
No, I
Not
I
because
didn't
I'm
get married.
like interested in you sexually. It's just like I don't really know how to engage in regular conversation.
Right. I don't think you jump straight to that, but it's all good. I mean, you help him out with that sort of stuff, right, Siko?
Yeah, I don't.
Not very successful.
Not really.
Not too in depth. All right.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to the topic at hand. Yeah. So like, my initial reaction was like, "This is violent. I don't like it." It's almost like watching. I mean, it was more violent actually back in the day, but that was my issue. But then I guess, being a young guy, testosterone, I was into pro wrestling, and so I guess maybe desensitized, whatever. But I started to like it, and I still think it's an amazing display of athleticism, intelligence, wisdom, and so on. But you have some issues.
Yeah, and
with
I
it.
agree with all the things that you said. I'm not sensitive to that. I don't care about seeing violence. I don't feel like I want to vomit and stuff. But it makes me wonder, have we changed? Because I have seen a lot of documentaries about, for example, the Roman Empire and how they used to have this gladiator fighting and hitting each other, and we're doing the same thing basically, but just don't kill it. Don't kill the next
We're
one, the next guy,
killing each other for.
but hit each other.
It's a little bit different. Those guys were slaves. So, I mean, there's that too. I mean, I think the guys doing it are doing it understanding what some of the consequences can be. So it's like somebody who wants to, I don't know, be a bull rider. It's like, I wouldn't want to do it and it's dangerous, but can you say you shouldn't be allowed to do it because, it's dangerous? I mean, it kind of goes into that a little bit. What do you think?
When I came to this world, the boy that I took over, he never left his room, so we would watch a lot of violent things. Every movie that was on TV was violent, and the music that he listened to was violent. So in my world, there's none of that. So I just find it very interesting.
Okay. All right. The boy that I took over. All right. So I think we'll move on. So we got together because we want to discuss this topic. Siko is like a layman in terms of not necessarily getting or having the full knowledge of mixed martial arts, right, or UFC, Pride FC, or whatever it is. And then Czar and I are big fans. With my own caveats, right, because I know that these people are like giving each other brain damage, and this is something that is it's hard to watch sometimes because. Tell me if you agree with this, Czar. So I feel like part of the difference between this and like watching MMA and watching, say, a fight, a street fight, right, and just like just sitting down and eating popcorn to a street fight, is there's a little bit of a difference in terms of violence versus competition. At least in my head, it makes sense. Like, violence is intention. It's not holding back. It's really intending to do the person actual harm versus competition. It's like you know what you're getting yourself into, and there's like a
Just trying to win.
You are trying to damage the other person. I mean, let's keep it real. But there's a limit to how much damage you can do, right? Versus a street fight, people die in street fights.
Wait. They also die in this one.
They do.
No one has died in MMA, as far as I know.
It's so much darker and beautiful. An actual street fight. Like if you ever come across one, really look at it, because you get that feeling that you're gonna watch somebody die, and you never seen anybody. Well, I don't know if you have ever seen anybody die in front of you, but do I say this without being even more creepier than I am? It's just, it's so good.
Okay, so Zara does not represent the views of the other people
In what sense is
on this podcast.
In what
In
sense?
what sense?
It gives you something that most people don't have. You've never seen anybody die in front of you. You might see it at that moment. You know, it's just so dark. It's so gritty. Both of them hate each other. Both of them want to kill each other. As opposed to competition, you're rooting for somebody to win, and you know that they're gonna go home to their families,
Yeah.
and people are betting on it, which makes it even more exciting in that sense. So there is emotion, but it's just different spectrums.
Yeah. Just make sure you speak very close to the mic.
Oh,
Yeah, just like pretty close. Maybe a couple of inches from your face.
my beak.
Your beak. I'm sorry about that. Don't want to be inconsiderate of what's the scientific term for owls?
You know what? I don't know that
Yeah.
because it's okay.
So, oh shit. Okay, I had something on my mind, but I mean, we're here to talk about to watch some MMA together, actually, and we thought that maybe it would be like a cool thing to do because other people who might be fans of MMA can watch with us and sort of enjoy that experience. If you're into that, if not, it might sound a little weird. But we wanted to watch. Actually, you recommended this, Czar. Wanderlei Silva versus Quinton Jackson. This is the first fight. This is free on YouTube, but for like copyright reasons, we're gonna watch it and muted on my computer. So I'm just gonna
You're gonna
let that
put
play.
the link, right?
Yeah, I'll provide the link. Let me see the time.
Even the promos is like an old school game. Like a
Let me
PlayStation
check.
1.
Yeah, we're looking at
Mortal
the.
Kombat, vaina.
Let me help people sync this up. Okay, let's see. The time is 18 seconds, 19, 20, 21. Okay? So if you want to sync up what you're watching, you can go back and sync up. We're watching Rampage come out. Rampage, Quinton Jackson, a really big, heavy built wrestler. And he's famous for like just slamming people. Because-
Okay.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
the dark skin one.
The black guy.
Black.
Well, dark skin is black. It's not the same thing. No.
I think technically no.
No.
No,
Okay.
because there are people who are dark skinned who maybe don't identify as black.
But we're not talking about identification. How he feels.
Okay, you're right. He's technically, yes, he is darker skinned. Dark skinned.
And
People feel different than what they are.
sometimes, yes, they identify as not how they look.
Well,
I don't know how to explain that. But it happens, you know.
All right, so we're watching this really fancy walkout that you don't get to see in the UFC. Like the UFC is generally the entrances are like way less flashy. I mean, Rampage right now kind of stealing a little bit of the thunder from Czar because he's in a mask
And you can see the pixels and everything.
and he's what is that? Is that
A horse?
a werewolf.
werewolf?
Because he howls. That's
He
like
howls.
his trademark.
Yes, that's his thing. And he has this big ass chain around his neck. Here he is howling.
So that's 2 minutes and 10 seconds.
2 minutes 10 seconds. 2 minutes 11. 2 minutes 12. Okay.
I used to have where I lived. There was like this long hallway, and I used to walk, like if it was one of those entrances. Like, I wanted to be like a fighter or like a wrestler, something like that, where people just like.
Well, right now I think you fight in society.
He's built like a fighter, actually. For people who can't tell, I mean, Czar's a big dude.
It is. It is. It is.
Was that like a Freudian slip? Do you not gender Czar? Is that what that is?
Well,
You don't. Does Czar have a gender,
because
or is he not gender binary?
I was alone. So I came here and then I realized there were more.
More of you?
No, more of you
Huh.
and him. And that lovely lady that works here too. What is her name?
Who
I
we
don't
saw
want to say
today?
her name.
We could. Well, no, I think we can't. No. Let's play it safe. Let's not. Waiting for this fight to start.
But she's very lovely, right?
Yeah, let's not say too much.
I just want to say something because they just walking for 10 years.
They're taking a long time.
The whole fight. So this whole video is 16 minutes and 48 seconds, and we're like 4 minutes in, and Rampage hasn't even stepped into the ring yet. So I'm tempted to,
Which is funny, right?
which is not how they do it anymore.
Oh, okay.
They don't do it like that anymore. We can talk about MMA and like what drew you to it. When we initially recorded this and
An hour ago.
yeah, a while ago, I mentioned how I got into it. My friend sort of got me into it when I was a kid or younger, maybe, I don't know, 10, 11. He showed me these videos, and these videos were violent, and you know, I kind of really wasn't feeling it at first. It was just violent, and I looked away, you know. But whatever, I guess I got desensitized. I was into professional wrestling, and I really admired like their athleticism, their courage, their
What video games did you play?
dude. I played so many pro wrestling games. Like
Well,
I had
that's
all the
why.
wrestling games.
That's part of the desensitization. That's how you say it.
Yeah.
Did
Man,
you
look
play
at
a
look
lot
at
of Grand
Jackson's
Theft Auto?
face, huh?
Did you play a lot of Grand Theft Auto?
I did play some Grand Theft Auto. Yeah.
Yeah, that plays a part in it too. He really has a hatred for Wanderlei. Like he hates his freaking guts.
Put it a little bit closer to your beak. Sorry.
So Wanderlei is always he's known for many things, but it's this stare down that he does.
Look at this guy.
His nickname is the Axe Murderer.
Yeah.
And he just like kind of bounces and does that thing with his hands and looks you
Yes.
deep in the eyes, and he waits for you to look away. That's like as soon as you look away, he look. Right
Here's the
there,
stare
right there.
down. Here's the stare down.
Oh my God, that's everything for me.
Man,
I love that.
I would piss myself at that point.
And this guy is snarling. The one that feels black, he's snarling at Wanderlei.
I'm pretty sure he identifies as black. Not just his feeling, but and then Wanderlei is Brazilian, so he's like more of a mixed person. Yeah. Fight's about to start. All right, here we go.
They're both stand up, so you're not
Yeah.
gonna see any like hugging
Whoa,
on the
whoa.
ground. Oh,
Don't throw it in the floor.
yeah,
He might. So Wanderlei's got this guillotine, a standing guillotine, and we're kind of expecting Rampage to slam
If you
him
ever
down.
do that to somebody, don't squeeze it too hard right away, because your biceps are gonna get full of blood and you're gonna get tired very easily. So he's just like, he knows that Rampage is holding his whole body weight, so he's gonna get tired eventually. He can handle a slam to the canvas, no problem, because he's fresh. This is the beginning of the match. So, and there's no way that he's gonna throw him out of the ring. So he has everything going for him right now.
Wanderlei's super patient, and he brings him down.
Maybe too
Brings him down to the floor, I should say.
He's getting tired. All right,
he got
here we
out.
go.
Rampage got out of that. Rampage is known for his ground and pound
Yeah.
and his slamming. So it's kind of stalemating.
He puts his legs right there and near his ass, so there's no way that he can get up. Everything that he's doing is just so that Rampage could get tired.
Do you have a wrestling background? I'm sorry, or it's just expertise over the years of
Just
watching
watching so much of this.
So who wins at the end?
I think this one, Wanderlei wins.
MMA. I didn't want to.
Oh, you see, the concept of jokes, I don't really understand.
But maybe it wasn't.
Oh.
Well, you did say maybe.
It's been years.
Yeah, this I can't remember the year.
Even if
think
you
this
know
is
who's
early
going to win,
2000s.
this is a really good
No,
fight.
no, yeah, analyzing the fight like in a way that I'm not thinking about that right now. Well, right now I'm thinking about it, but I wasn't before you analyze it like that, the details and stuff.
Rampage would prefer this to be a stand-up fight. He would
Yeah.
prefer both of them to be standing up and just to duke it out. Because he's always been like that. He hates fighting wrestlers. He hates fighting wrestlers because he feels like they're going to quote hump his leg. So
What does that mean?
Hump his leg? I think it's when people have like intercourse with another human, and like you do that motion.
I think that was the metaphor, yeah. But I don't think he literally meant that they were going to try to have sex with him.
Oh my God, James, you're funny.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Rampage looks like he's trying to posture up to maybe get more power.
He's got one of his
Wanderlei's
arms.
going for an arm
No.
bar.
Damn.
Doesn't work. Wow.
Boom. Oh my God.
What a
that's
shot.
just so vicious. I love it.
This is back when the knees were
Yeah,
allowed.
legal on the ground. Now they're completely. You can't do that at all. You'll get disqualified.
And the soccer kicks, you can do like soccer kicks to the head.
So they have balls protection, right?
They have.
Yeah.
Okay.
They take points off if you like hit somebody else's balls.
Yeah.
Okay.
Intentionally.
No, but I mean like it can be by accident, you know.
If
Was
it's
it-
an accident, they'll give the other guy like 2 minutes to rest. If he can continue, he'll just give the okay.
Usually the offender gets, warning and,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Okay.
That reminds me of the GSP Matt Hughes fight, where GSP hit him in the groin twice, like right after the
One
other.
right- Oh my God.
And it was, I guess they were both a mistake, but anyway, it reminds me of what we were talking about.
You know, you don't know what we're gonna talk about right now, but I didn't appreciate GSB as much as I should have, like during his time active. Like now that he's retired, I love his fighting style so much.
I mean, the way he would time takedowns, right? I mean, that's kind of what he was known for. Not necessarily being the best wrestler or being the best
stand-up,
striker,
no.
but just like mixing it all up in a way that was extremely effective. I love GSP, yeah.
So he's holding on to one arm. He's allowing himself to be hit with the other, right? Because he knows with each punch he's gonna get more and more tired, and that's his right hand.
Well-
That I believe that's part of the plan. Like
It might
he's
be.
holding his left. He's holding
They're
Rampage's
they're
left.
getting stood up. They're getting stood up. This is
It might be the end of the round, or
no. They're getting stood up. Yeah, they're getting a yellow flag. I think it was Rampage getting the yellow flag.
Oh,
Great head kick.
Yo, that kick,
Attempt.
the same reaction, right? That was insane.
Wanderlei tries to take him down. Doesn't work.
Oh, that
Knee
was
Rampage.
the knee, the first one that hit him right. Yeah.
that's the desperate attempt to regain.
So you feel like Rampage was kind of being a little bit desperate there because he was reaching for the leg. Yeah, I think there's something to that. Like,
Yeah, after that, you see the punches. It's like not the same. They're not as powerful as they used to be.
but Wanderlei's relentless knees is something that Rampage just doesn't have an answer to. Look at this, knee after knee. And Rampage just isn't responding to it, you know? Relentless.
Look, there he's having.
The fight should have been stopped.
Yeah, Rampage is not
One more
defending
knee,
himself.
That's it. Jesus.
It's over. Wanderlei's our winner. Yeah, that's so weird. I like the way that the Brazilian dudes do it, you know. Here it comes. Okay, so he gets the ride on the shoulders. Okay, that's fine. That's normal. You know, but then touching his chest, that's fine. But then
No estaba nada.
everybody's happy.
Somebody hit him from the back, but they do it again. I think like.
Look at this.
Now-
I love you. Kiss on the cheek. Love you. Kiss on the cheek. Which is just a little awkward because, I mean, this guy just assaulted the other guy, and they're kissing him on the cheek. Love you, brother. and then he starts praying.
Okay, so I have a question.
Thank you, Jesus, for allowing me to beat this other guy up.
My God is greater than the other guy's God.
And of course, the irony of Jesus being a prominent, non-violent
They still
figure.
pray after a fight.
Huh?
And they still pray after a fight.
They pray before, they pray after. Apparently, yeah, Jesus really wants you to fuck that other dude up. We're watching the replay, just knee after knee landing.
So where do you think was the turning point in this fight? Because the black guy in the beginning was pretty
Rampage.
strong. You know, like I thought that, damn, there's gonna be a problem for the other dude. But
Well, I don't know if you remember, but there was this kick that went over Rampage's head, right?
yes,
Yeah.
So I believe he wanted to take advantage of that that miss, and he went after Wanderlei way too hard, and Wanderlei recovered
Yeah.
and started being a boss and fucked his shit up.
I think one of the turning points also is when Rampage, I think he had like a failed takedown attempt, and then Wanderlei kneed him in the head. It was just really well timed, and I feel like that was sort of the start of the end. Like the way Wanderlei was able to like capitalize on that.
yeah, it might be. Oh, it might also be that just God wasn't, God just did it.
Maybe Jesus likes Wanderlei better. I don't know.
You remember the movie 30 Days of Night?
What was that?
The movie 30 Days of Night?
30 Days of Night. No, I haven't seen that.
No? Oh my god. So fuck it.
Maybe give him the mic. There we go.
So there was a moment where all the vampires came to the village, and there was one in particular, and he looked at a woman, and she said, "Oh God," and he looked at her and he said, "God, no God." It was so badass. I liked it a lot.
God, no God, okay.
You know
That's cool.
what? I think that Netflix has something with that. Because a lot of the shows in Netflix, they related to this opening the mind that there's no God or something related to that. There's a lot of shows in Netflix that they a lot of atheist people, the protagonists and stuff like that.
You're talking about like atheism and Christianity kind of going
And putting
head to
the
head.
doubt on people.
I hear you. Yeah, man.
Right? Have you noticed that?
There are some good ones. I think Death Note. Like yeah, Death Note. There were a few of my favorite. I have a few. Sorry, I'm just tired and a little sick.
What are you saying, man? Complete your sentence.
There were a few animes that I really, really enjoyed. So Death Note was one of them. And Bleach. I also liked Bleach.
Also, Nightfall. That's a series about the Templars that they used to fight for
Oh,
the
the
Pope
Knights
and
Templar.
the Middle Ages. And there's a band of them that they went against the Pope in Rome, basically, I think, because they are not. They don't want like the Pope to have that much power with a cup from Christ. It's a mess. But at the end point is that they going against the religious belief in the Pope.
Okay, cool. I think Zar was examining the microphone.
Everything was right. Yeah.
Yeah, you might want to watch this one and instead of just listen to it because Zar's a really interesting guy. How did you guys meet? Can you tell that story real quick?
Yeah.
If you don't mind.
Hi there. My name is Eli, but you don't care. Please don't stare when you speak to me. Don't speak to me. Having dreams of having dreams is a dream for me. Well, don't get too deep. Look at me. It's the real me. Look at me. I put on the mask to demonstrate a bit of bravery. All the real ain't real enough, really, for my reality.
Huh.
It appears to be as time goes by, less appeals to me. To disappear will fill the void I avoided until recently. Have you ever met a man that's broken? It's pitiful. A vagabond full of grace and charm turned normal. It's pitiful. Look at that nice man walking down the street. He's so pitiful. Can't look at myself in the mirror anymore. I'm so pitiful. What is hope? Is that real? Is that a joke? What fairy tale is this? Tell me now! Tell it slow. To be surrounded in this ever-crowded world, all alone, is all I know. On with the show. So I believe we met in a club, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Any more details?
Yeah.
What drew
it was
you
a-
guys like together? Was
What?
it? What drew you guys together? Did you see Zar? I'm sorry. Did you see Zar screaming in a corner and you thought, you know what? I feel this guy.
It wasn't really the scream at the time, but it was the presentation because it was a presentation in the club. So he had the mask, he had the movements, and the reactions to how he presented himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's. I mean, he's such a great performer, and I hope that. I think he mentioned towards the beginning there was a boy whose body he took over, something like that, and I hope that guy is okay. Any word on that?
He's here. He actually had a baby, so it's
Wow! Congrats to that guy.
yeah, it's good
He
for
babied up.
him. But for me, it just this is the first time that I've been out in a long time, because I want to give that guy some space. I see the way he looks at his child, and it's something that I can't do.
Wow. This is getting very Freudian. I feel like this is very interesting.
So I want him to be happy, but I know that he doesn't want to be normal, because he likes these moments, very much so. He talks to me, in private. And sometimes he travels back to my home, the nothingness, and we just go into caves, explore, look at the different sites, like how we used to. But it kind of breaks my heart.
Huh. So is everything okay there at this cave?
Well, I was there for a long time, and I saw a reflection. You see, I mentioned it before, but we got cut off. There's water in where I'm from, but not everywhere. So in one area, it would rain a lot, and that's where I would get my drinking water. And then inside a cave, there was water, but that water was poison. But I was able to see my reflection there. And while I was looking at my reflection, I saw this boy. And from there, I was able to travel here.
Through the reflection. I think you might be a character from Stranger Things.
I like that show.
It's
was
my
nice.
girlfriend got me into it. She would like talk about it all the time, and she got like so excited when I got her like the Stranger Things, like these socks with Stranger Things on them. And I never got it, you know, but then I started watching the show, and it's really good. So if you haven't started watching it yet, I'm like probably super late to the show, but as somebody with an MFA, a writer, it's really well written, and some great acting too, and dope. It's really dope.
Speaking of shows, did you see Casa de Papel? Money Heist?
No.
Oh, it's
I
really
saw it.
good. Oh my god, that's like my obsession. My grandmother knows about it. That's how you know that it's big.
I wanted to ask about your bag. What's up with that? I see you carrying that.
Oh, this is my everything right now. You actually could get it at shopthevillages.com.
Shop the Villages.
Shop the Villages,
Okay.
and you enter the code OWL, OWL, and you get free shipping and a percentage off. Check it out.
Boom! Check it out, people. Oh, and anybody watching can sort of check it out as well. It's like a shoulder bag, you know, something
What can
you
you
can
put in there?
Well, I know you can put approximately 2 knives,
Okay.
pencils, and your phone at the same time with some money.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I don't have access to a gun, so I don't know if you can put a gun in it.
Let's
Probably
not
yes.
speculate. Okay. I get so paranoid when we put things on the internet about how people interpret things. But yeah, you could do that if you wanted to legally. All right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
If you live in Texas, for example,
You can do like almost anything if you're
live
yeah.
in Texas.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool, man. So, I mean, so like, let everybody know where they can find you on social media, and what you would like to share.
I'm not gonna say it because I don't want you to find me right now, but maybe Zara wants.
Or don't look for them on social media. I could use some social media love at Jim Nog, JIMNOG, on Twitter, on Instagram. Yeah, man. Anything else?
I'm working on new stuff like making music, new photography stuff. So when I'm ready with that, then I'll promote it. You're gonna see me. Don't worry. But right now, like the stuff that I have in my social media is really very, very old, I think. So yeah, that's why.
And I think what would your recommendation be, Zara, if someone saw you in a dark alley?
Just be kind.
I would recommend that they run the other way.
Or that, too.
All right, cool. Thank you. This has been another episode of Jim Nog Pod. Peace.
Peace.
Next time on the Jim Nog Pod, perhaps a teacher, a poet, or some other interesting person. I don't know yet. I haven't confirmed the date, but several people have expressed interest in being on the pod. If you'd like to be a guest or know someone you think would be a good guest on the pod, please DM me on Twitter or Instagram at JimNog, or use my contact page at my website, which is stated in the ending credits. Much love. Peace. Music for Jimnog Pod by Marcos and La Guagua. MarcosandLaGuagua.com. Guagua is spelled Guagua. Art by Seco1844 at Seco1844 on Instagram. Seco is Seko. My website, which contains news and updates, bios, social media links, contact info, a bibliography, a blog, and a podcast page, is jamesnoguera.com. Noguera is Noguera. Please show your support by subscribing and interacting with the pod on iTunes or whatever your favorite podcatcher happens to be, and on YouTube. You can donate on patreon.com/Jimnog or directly via paypal.me/Jimnog. And thank you for your interest.